It doesn't matter if you're a Hank Williams or Dale Earnhardt Jr. or Frank Sinatra the Fifth or whatever. It's just always expectations from people.
Yeah.
And if you've seen us, we always kind of do our own thing. I try to pay my respects as much as possible in the country part of the show, but when most of the audience is leaving and we're still rocking, that's kind of what keeps us real about it. And I've never was raised that much around my father or the business that much, so it wasn't forced upon me. It was always I got myself into it. It was my decision. And unlike Hank Jr., who was pushed out on stage and said, get out there and sound like your daddy and sing this song and do that. And I never had that, man. I always had my own ambition and just wanted to.
Yeah.
So
I think the best thing you could do was to do your own thing, because you couldn't do what they did. They had already done it.
Right.
And then I think only if you would have copied it, I mean, sure, you might have made a lot more money, but it would have got stale pretty quickly.
That's the good thing about what we do is longevity. When you don't write songs for the radio and you just kind of go out there and do shows to do shows, not to tour around a record. That's what, the Reverend Horton Heat, the Melvins, and many other bands. That's what's given them so much life. Well, I mean, it's pretty much an hour and hour and a half of the country stuff. A lot of our more of our upbeat songs than our slower songs. In the middle of the show, we do pay a quick respects as far as doing one Hank Williams song and a Johnny Cash song and stuff like that. Just a little bit on what I grew up on, and the rest of it's kind of our, my own songs. And then we have our middle ground, the hellbilly sound, like Reverend Horton Heat on steroids or something like that. And then we finish off the night with Ass Jack, more of the heavier, upbeat, chunking part, and sometimes people stick around, and sometimes there's only about 70 of them left. It's a long show, man, 2.5 to 3 hours, and most people's attention spans nowadays are 5 minutes.
So are you getting more acceptance of the different styles, or how does that work out?
It's always the same, man. I mean, the only thing acceptance-wise that I notice is maybe meeting some of my heroes out there that see what we do. But the crowds have always been, they show up for the country, and the majority of them leave for the rock. And that's the way it's always been, and that's the way it always probably will be, man. But that's what keeps my heart into it, is because it just makes us different. And for the true fan that sticks around and does enjoy the whole show, that's his payoff or his rebelliousness, because there's only a certain breed, certain fan that digs every angle of it. Well, it ain't that much cussing. I was just trying to be ourselves, more than anything. I mean, but to come out in the system, we've always kind of been the black sheep of the Bible Belt, doing our own thing. But for a major to put up with it, we're definitely honored. And in the rock and roll world, it ain't no thing. And if in reality, if you look at it, there's maybe 10 to 15 cuss words. It's not like every other motherfucking word is, shit, fuck, goddamn, fuck you, and all that stuff. So it's pretty, is what it is. We weren't trying to get a media exposure. We were just trying to be ourselves. I mean, if you come and see me, unless we're doing a family show, cussing is part of it. I mean, that's just the way I talk, man. So just trying to be natural. Well, I guess the main problem is pop country is basically what Mutt Lange created it, with bringing the Def Leppard sound into country music. And I guess my biggest problem is it's about how good you look, how good you dance, and how good you obey what you're told to do. Perfect example, Hootie and the Blowfish. turned in his country record. Well, it's a pretty good record, but if you want a #1 song, this is what you need to do. Okay, he did that. What happened? Straight to the top. Had a #1 song, sold out shows. He's a country artist now. That kind of bugs me, you know.
Yeah.
The most people that I listen to write songs for themselves, live it out. Yeah, creative input is wonderful, but when it's basically, if you want to have a great hit, you need to record the
Do that,
song.
somebody-
That just takes it all away, man.
Take all the soul out of it.
That's my biggest problem with pop country. And honestly, the last big mainstream artist I've listened to is Alan Jackson, and that's quite a while ago, you know. So I'm pretty disconnected with the radio or what's going on with it, man. But I know it's a produced thing, and it ain't that hard just to make your own music, man.
Yeah.